Hey everyone, it's Anthony here, and I figured since we all have some downtime, we're all quarantining, I figured I would give you a rundown of my gear list I have for my Inspire 2. This is normally what I take with me when I go out and fly on jobs. So we'll get right into it. Right here I have two of the smaller WB37 batteries that I used to use with my CrystalSky monitor, but I no longer needed to use them with this because now my Inspire 2 remote actually powers that monitor. So these I usually use as paperweights for my landing pad that we'll get to here in a minute. But I also have a Mavic Air, and when I use my CrystalSky with that, I do typically use these to power that monitor because I can't power that monitor from the Mavic Air remote. So like I said, I have two of those. Moving right along, we have the charger for my intelligent flight batteries for my Inspire 2. With this charger, you basically hit these four switches, pop them down, and you can charge two pairs of batteries at a time. And what it normally does is it'll charge two sets, or it'll charge one set at a time. So if you've got four in here, it'll charge two, and then it'll charge the other two. Usually the two that has the most charge, it'll try and top them off before it moves on to batteries with less charge. Segueing from that into the actual intelligent flight batteries. Now, these things are about 91 watt hours. These things are expensive, but they are expensive for a reason. These intelligent flight batteries pretty much run themselves when it comes to battery maintenance and charging and discharging, because with LiPo batteries, you typically don't want to overcharge them. It runs them down. You don't want to charge them when they're particularly hot, like right when you get done with the flight and you need to switch batteries. They're typically really hot. If you were to throw these on the charger and they didn't have fail-safes and intelligence built into them, you could potentially melt down the battery, blow it up, run down the life cycles a lot quicker than you would normally do if you were taking proper care of the battery. So they're intelligent flight batteries for a reason. You typically need two to run the Inspire 2, so they come in pairs. You can buy them individually, but you want to buy them in pairs. And also when you use them, DJI has stickers where you can label them. You typically want to label batteries the same and use those same batteries every time you fly, because you don't want to fly with a new battery that you just got and mix that with a battery you've had for 2 years, because if one fails, it's easier for one to fail because it's been in use longer. Moving along from them, we have some Tiffin filters. You typically want to have at least some sort of ND filters for your camera. With the X5S, which is what I have, you can actually manually adjust your f-stop. But even with that, you still want to have some sort of ND filter if you want to have a shallower depth of field, and also not have to worry about changing your shutter speed and all that. So I basically have a 0.9, a 0.6, and then I also have a circle polarizer to kind of knock down the haziness of the sky and certain reflections from time to time. It's just good to have in the kit. Also UV filter, just a standard run-of-the-mill UV filter. All of them are 46 millimeter diameter, because that's the front diameter size of the 15 mil kit lens that comes with the X5S. moving along, we have the DJI Inspire 2 OEM props. They've been doing me really, really good. I've seen the aftermarket props and stuff that people have. I may dabble into those. Y'all can give me some suggestions if you know of any good ones, just to see if you can get it to run quieter or faster or whatever you want to. But yeah, the OEM props have been working good with me so far, so I see no reason to switch them out right now. Coming back here to our standard Inspire 2 remote. I have this and I've been debating whether I wanted to upgrade when I get my second remote, if I want that to be a Ascendance remote or another standard remote, because I hear all the pros and cons of both. I actually upgraded and I had the iPad mount for this, but I actually upgraded and got the CrystalSky mount for this, which, like I said, is a world of difference for me, because before I had to charge my monitor, which added extra weight because that's another battery on top of the other stuff that I'm having to hold. I can take that battery off and just plug in the USB here. Now I've got power and signal going to my monitor. It weighs so much less. It's very ergonomical in the hand. With my chest strap, I'm able to practice the pinch technique. I came up playing video games, messing with RC cars, so I'm used to controlling it like this. But I'm trying out the pinch technique. Like everyone says, the pinch technique is the best, so I'm trying it out, and I can because I have my chest strap now. But going back to whether I should get another one of these or Ascendance, to me, this has, if I'm just flying it, like not worrying about operating the camera, this has all the controls I need. And I don't see a need for much more controls if you're just operating the camera. But like I said, I don't know, I'm still trying to make a decision. So hey, if y'all want to help me out with making that decision, whether I need to get the Ascendance or another one of these with an Inspire 2 or a CrystalSky mount, that would be helpful. My CrystalSky, I have I think it's what, the 5-inch, 5.4 inch, I believe, which does me amazing. This thing, I hate that it's only it's proprietary DJI, because I would love to use this monitor for other shoots that I do, because it's so clear. I mean, it's got max brightness. I can't remember the nits. I'll flash them up on the screen here to give you a little bit of info on that. But this thing is good. I may, once I grab my second controller, I may upgrade this and get the 7-inch for my camera op, and I'll just keep the 5-inch for me. But we have HDMI out, USB in, I believe, USB out, headphone port, and all your function buttons, SD card slot 1 and 2 for viewing your footage in the field if you don't have an external monitor with a card slot, and speaker grills on top, and also your battery port in the back. And so here we have the DJI ZenMuse X5S camera. I decided to go with this camera when I got my Inspire 2, just because it is a micro 4/3 mount, which gives me the versatility to put a lot of different lens sizes on here. Like I said, I have the 15mm kit lens that came with it. I'm going to be purchasing a 45 micro 4/3 lens, because that will be a game changer. I've seen so many example videos of what 45, which is equivalent to a 90 mil on a Super 35 sensor. And that basically gives you the opportunity to get the tight shots with this drone and still have it be a safe distance away, because I'm always thinking about safety, making sure everyone's safe, the gear's safe, we're getting good content, and also being safe while we're doing it. But I'm also looking forward to upgrading and getting the Apple ProRes license, which will unlock the ability for this to shoot 5.2K, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong. 5.2K in ProRes. I don't think I'm going to get the Cinema DNG license, just because for me personally, I don't see a reason for me to have that. The ProRes will be just fine at 5K. It'll do everything that I want it to do, and then some at that. But it's amazing to me that this little camera that I can hold in my hand actually can rival Alexas and Reds out there. There are comparison videos that put this little camera up against an Alexa Mini, and in some of the tests, this camera actually resolves better than an Alexa Mini, which to me, that blew my mind. I mean, you've got a camera starting at 50,000 for body only and going up from there, and this camera starts at like $2,000, and it's pretty much the same quality. So I don't know, I'm very excited to see all that I can do with this camera and all the different lenses I'll have with it. This is the 15mm DJI kit lens. It's a pretty good Micro Four Thirds lens from DJI. But like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to upgrading and getting my 45. I don't know if I'm going to get any wider than this, because I know there's some out there that are like 9mm, 6mm Micro Four Thirds lenses. I may get one of those in the future just for like a special use case scenario, but right now all I see me getting, or me having in my kit, is my 15 and the 45. So move on. Now this is the chest strap that I was talking about, which allows me to actually do my pinch technique. So I'm not having to worry about holding the controller and also using my fingers to control my drone. I just do this, hook it up here, and now I can properly do my pinch or my regular if I want to. Moving on, we have our landing pad from PGY Tech, which is amazing. You always want to have a landing pad when you go out on set, on location, or wherever you're at, because you never know what type of ground cover you're going to have. When these things kick on, wind is everywhere. So you want to make sure you're not blowing up, especially if you're somewhere like on a beach. You're just going to be blowing sand for days, and that gets all in your motors, all in your joints and all that. That's no good. No fun at all trying to clean all that stuff out. So you always want to make sure you have proper ground coverage. Yeah, and it has two different flavors, your orange and your blue, just depending on what you feel like that day. I typically keep it on the orange. I don't know why. I guess I'm just partial to that color, but I don't know. It's one of those things where you never think you would need it until you have it, and then once you have it, you're like, oh yeah, I don't see how I went this far without it. But yeah. And that moves us on to the Fils de la Resistance, the Inspire 2. I'm sure you've seen many, many videos already about this thing, but I just absolutely love I absolutely love this thing. I mean, just from the look, even now, it's been out for what, 2.5 years now? And I'm still, when I take it out, I still see people, oh my God, that looks so cool. That's so futuristic. What is that? It's like, yeah, it's the Inspire 2. Like, it's this thing, it looks like it's from the future. I mean, it's got your FPV camera, your front obstacle avoiding sensors, your top sensors, your bottom sensors. So you're definitely covered for not running this thing into buildings and cars and people if you have them on most of the time. Most of the time I fly with them off because I'm flying special circumstances, close quarters type stuff. But when I'm out just having fun, I do try to keep them on just to, like I said, just to be safe. You have your ports where you can do your upgrades, USB port, and you can either upgrade from your computer or your cell phone, which I thought was an interesting take that they gave you that option to, I guess if you're out in the field and all you have is your phone that has internet connection and you need to upgrade, there you go. You've got your 2 battery slots with, and I don't know how many people probably threw these away when they got their Inspire 2, but I kept my battery covers because once the batteries are out, these ports are exposed. So I always just cover them. It's just, like I said, another safety precaution that I take. When I upgrade and get the ProRes, I'll also get the little thing that fits right in that slot, which is the Sena SSDs, which are also very, very expensive. That, I don't know why they're so expensive, because they're proprietary. That's honestly the reason why, but we're not going to get into that. Very expensive, but necessary if you want to shoot ProRes or Cinema DNG RAW. But yeah, other than that, you've got your lights, you've got your camera port, which I will show you, which is right there. And I wonder, because there's these rumblings that I've been hearing about them, DJI, getting ready to release the Inspire 3 or the Inspire 3 getting ready to come out. I wonder if if an Inspire 3 ever does come out, if the camera that is on that will be backwards compatible with the Inspire 2, just like some of the cameras for the Inspire 1 can be used with the Inspire 2. So that's just some food for thought. I wonder if they'll try to go with an anamorphic style camera or something. That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, since we're here in this time of quarantine, we're just all trying not to go stir crazy. I figured I would let you guys know what I have when I go out on shoots. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the Inspire 2, if you plan on getting one, if you already have one, if you've worked with them in the past. Also, if you like this style of video, like I said, this is something brand new that I'm trying since we're all stuck here in quarantine. Until the next one, peace.